Welcome to day number 11 of 12 days of Itch.y, a series where I go over 12 random games I find on Itch.io and tell you what I thought about them one day at a time, all the way leading up to Christmas. So this is a hard game for me to talk about, not because necessarily of its subject matter or its potential spoilers as a narrative game, but simply because I have no idea how I really felt about it. They Speak from the Abyss is a narrative RPG style game played in the first person that looks like those old school screensavers that were on Windows and plays like an arthritis affliction. In the game you play a woman named Vanessa who is strangely teleported to a flesh nightmare world filled to the brim with demons, but in an interesting twist, none of the demons are violent towards you, at least not what I saw in the demo. The demo itself is pretty bare bones. You interact with a few characters. Some are better than others, but a lot of the dialogue is pretty poorly written, sounding not much better than a sophomore high school's Nightmare Before Christmas meets Jeff the Killer fanfiction. The really awkwardly implemented audio cues that they spout is also kind of grating at points, feeling thrown in completely at random. But the characters do the demo's job, at least in making me interested as to what's going on or what the point of this baptism they talk about is. Apart from that, the goal of the demo seems to be collecting hearts that open up more hallways that you walk down to collect more hearts. Which is fine, it's just a demo, it's establishing the game's vibe more than anything. But the game's vibes, while wandering around the hellscape, are actually unironically excellent. The somber music that plays while you drift along the claustrophobic hallways is a real mood setter, and I honestly just kind of want to play more of that. But the graphics walk an incredibly fine line between really aesthetically perfect and just sort of making me want to vomit from the game's awkwardly chosen first-person perspective. I don't normally get motion sickness usually from video games, but this one almost kind of possibly maybe got there for me? I don't know, I felt really uncomfortable moving in this game. The controls are also really awkward as well. There's no controller support, which is fine, but being stuck using WASD to move while using Z and C to strafe is just grating on my wrist, as you'll also be usually holding Shift to see where you're going at all, because that opens the map. I don't know, I feel like I'm kind of shitting on this, but I feel bad because I didn't necessarily have a bad time with it. It just kind of feels a little bit amateurish in places where it shouldn't, but like I said, those vibes are just really good. And it's making me intrigued, and I'm legit curious as to what's going on. I definitely can't say this game is for everyone, but if you just kind of want to vibe existentially in a wet, fleshy hellscape and apparently ponder about what a vagina is, then you should probably play They Speak from the Abyss.